Never let it be said that we don't like a challenge. The Oxford Dictionary defines a challenge as a new project or task that tests someone's ability and skill set. This project's going to test our ability and skill set, and then some. With over a dozen years behind me, I've picked up a thing or two about renovating. My name's Mark, and I'm the Barefoot Renovator. I love designing as well as building, playing with interiors and exteriors. I love coffee, Pinot Noir and surfing, but most of all, I love what we do. I liken it to the renovation equivalent of when Michelangelo came home and said to his devoted, pious and noble widow Vittoria, "Hey babe, got a job." Yeah. Painting a ceiling. What? No, it won't take long. It could take a while. Unfortunately for us, we've inherited this job off another builder that couldn't complete the project. And in doing so, we've also inherited actually truth be known, a heap of problems that we've got to unravel to fix before we can actually get on and start completing the project. There's a number of engineering issues and architectural details that haven't been built to the architect's plans or to building codes. So we have to take one step back before we can go two steps forward in completing the project to the architect's vision. So if the details bore you, now's a good time to switch off. But otherwise, let's go and have a look and I'll show you around. Come on. So over here, this is a good example of where we've got a structural beam that's picking up the stairs and the mezzanine floor above. And as a general rule of thumb, you can notch out about 30% of the timber without affecting the structural integrity. As you can see here, he's left 30%. There's a few of those to pick up on. You'll see here, this outflow pipe here comes straight out from the underside of the gutter. It should actually be in the cavity of the wall. So we've got to take open the cavity, redirect it internally, and then it'll come out down at the bottom here. And in this area here, all the way through here, and down across the base here, all the way through the entire part of the building, should be a negative detail. That's where it's a recess, 10 millimeters in. It just comes all the way through. It runs up and it picks up the ceiling as well. The stack pipe for the toilet above, he's then put it in himself. You can see it down here. He's put it in and then it runs under this concrete slab, which is a finished polished concrete slab, and runs out into the courtyard to join up with the sewer. However, he's put it in with an incorrect junction, so it doesn't comply with building codes. And also he's got his falls wrong, so it doesn't actually line up with the sewer. So therefore, the idea, I think, was to actually trench all the way down the side of the building, which he started doing, to connect into the sewer right down at the front of the property. Part of the steel structure, this is picking up the roof, which has got a steel portal going through it. So this steelwork here, it should be sitting on this other piece of brickwork, which is part of the existing house. Yeah, no, just floating in the breeze. So we talked about the roof and how there's a few issues to deal with in the roof. One of them being when they took the tiles off and the new battens go on, you'll see through here, they've got these tin battens that go on the top of them, metal battens. They should be packed out at every rafter all the way through so that they can get a level finish. So obviously it's an old roof, it's about 60 years old. That should all be packed out so that these new battens, they form a nice level surface to go on. And then when the tin goes back on top, it looks perfect. At the moment, it looks like a bit of a trifle. So with this project, they've changed from a tiled roof to a tin roof. And in doing so, due to the weight of the tiles that holds the roof down, when you go for a tin roof, it's got a high likelihood of blowing away. So the engineers always specify tie downs, and they go into the cavity of the brickwork. They come down about 1800 mil, and they're like a little J at the bottom. So they're called J bolts. They've got a little J. There's a rod that goes through the wall. The little J hooks onto that, and then they're tightened up and tied down to the actual roof structure, which is then tying into the roof itself. So basically it's all anchored into the building. These tie downs, they generally go in through the whole of the perimeter of the building, roughly every 1800 millimeters throughout the external walls. There's none in this job. Now I already have a few grey hairs, but I have a sneaky suspicion that by the end of this project, I may have a few more.